Hi everyone, the following video is about motorboats' perspective on Janie and their eyes were watching God. It's just a sort of monologue that I wrote up, and the narration too will also be from me, and this is just a project I had to do for my school. I hope you all enjoy it. We all gathered around the boarding house to talk about the outcome of the trial, but the men had nothing kind to say about poor Janie. I wanted to persuade them that it wasn't Janie's fault, but they were so hurt and bent out of shape in their anger, they wouldn't have listened anyways. After all the men had left, I went up to Janie's window and looked in. She was crying. It was the cry of a woman who was in excruciating pain, but I, so drowned in shame, didn't know how to comfort her, so I left without a word. I woke up early the next morning to follow Janie where she went. As she walked along the glades, I heard her muttering to herself about where to bury tea cake. The glades are too low for tea cake. And anyways, the water was what killed tea cake. I don't want him to ever worry about the water again. Janie didn't blame herself for tea cake's death while I did. If I would have gone with them when the lake was coming, then I could have stopped that dog from biting tea cake. I could have. Janie would never have been in that water, and tea cake would have never had to rescue her. I was almost too lost in thought when I realized that Janie had gone ahead without me noticing. I followed her to the post office, where she wired Orlando for money to bury Tea Cake. Tea Cake's money had taken care of her all this time. Now it would be Janie's turn to use her money to take care of Tea Cake. She ended up having a big, strong vault built in the cemetery of West Palm Beach. She had the coffin lined with white silk, so she set red roses around him, and she bought him a brand new guitar to lay beside him. She had put him away so that he would rest like himself, free and happy. It almost looked like he was alive, and that at any moment he'd snap and start strumming the guitar. But Janie knew he never would, and so did I. I continued to watch Janie until she was safe in the boarding house. Someone needed to watch out for her since Tea Cake was gone. When I was about to leave, I noticed that Janie had pulled out some paper and began to write with her brow all twisted and tense. Heaven only knew what she was feeling. The next morning, I found out that Janie had written to soften all of the others, explaining to them why it happened and that she had no choice. They quickly understood. The shame of doubting her showed on their faces. But Janie didn't seem to mind. She moved on and treated them like they had been by her side through it all. But they hadn't. I hadn't. At the funeral, Janie was quiet. She barely whispered a word, and her weary eyes were proof of long, restless nights. She came in her dirty overalls, looking like she had bathed in a week, and her beautiful hair was knotted and greasy. It was enough to make me cry. As I let a few tears roll down my face, I caught Janie watching me, and I quickly turned aside. It seemed as though the funeral would never end. Person after person came up to Janie and gave her their condolences, for none of which Janie cared. As I was about to leave, Janie had suddenly appeared by my side. She took hold of my shoulders and began to speak to me. "Thank you for staying with me till the end, motorboat. It's the least I could do for you. Tea Cake used to tell me that if I ever stopped being honest with him, then he wouldn't love me no more. Just 'cause he's gone, that don't make no difference, 'cause I'm going to be honest anyway." She stared into my eyes and said, "It weren't her fault, motorboat. But there ain't no buts about it. It was God's will for that dog to come and bite Tea Cake. There weren't nothing I could do about it, and I was there. But Janie, I's a man. Tea Cake was a man too, and that dog done bit him anyway. I know this is hard for you. Every time I look into your face and see the same pain I feel. Tea Cake is gone. There ain't nothing that you or me can do about it. An amount of regret is going to change that. You hear me?" "I hear you, Jane." "Good. Now I'm going to go and get some rest. There ain't no need for you to watch me no more." I stood there dumbfounded as Janie walked out the door. All I could think was that even though Tea Cake was only able to enjoy Janie for 2 years, he was the luckiest man that ever lived.